How will Ruben Amorim transform Manchester United? Right, the man just got in seat. He's going to be laying down the 3-4-3, assessing the squad, picking out the bluffers, giving them the boot. But more importantly, we're Manchester United. We got plenty of cash in the coffers. We're going to be going to the transfer market, supporting this man. We're changing formation. We need new players. We need wing backs. Been a while since we've seen those at Old Trafford. So he's going to be remaking the squad. We're going to talk about who goes, who comes in, who do you rate. As far as the outgoing, sir, who do you think might not make it under Ruben Amorim? Big names at United that might hit the blocks because they can't cut it out under the Portuguese manager's tenure.
I think it's going to be a lot of the long-standing players who, well, some are long-standing, some are less long-standing, but are just up there in age and might not be a fit. You know, one that I think he'll do okay this season, I don't think he'll have a role to play long-term, is Casemiro. I think Casemiro will play and feature quite a bit, kind of in that midfield holding position, especially under or against better sides next to Ugarte. But given his age, I think, obviously they're not going to re-up him on his current wages. He'll move on. I don't think Shaw will make it just based on his fitness record and the level of physicality and athleticism he's going to expect out of his wingback. So I think he drops out over time. I do think Delot will make it. I think Delot will actually step up under a Portuguese manager who's also a very good manager. We have concerns. I have concerns about Rashford. I'm hoping he does, but I think the level of fitness and pressing and also playing defense as a wingback was where he'd likely fit in. That's my concerns. I think those players like Shaw, especially Casemiro, Rashford, I don't know if they have a future. What do you think, sir? Who do you think drops out under Ruben Amorim of the existing players?
Yeah, I think we break them into three buckets. I think forwards, everyone's pretty young. We got young players, young strikers, young wingers. Other than Rashford, I think I'd like for Rashford to work out. My gut tells me he won't work out in the midfield. Eriksen, Casemiro is going to go. Obviously, Ugarte is going to step up, have the connection with the manager. On the defensive line, Luke Shaws of the world are probably not going to cut it. You probably need to make your mind up between Delot and Mazraoui, Delot being the backup. So that kind of brings us into what we think are the new signings, right? So clearly there's a hole at left back and left wing back now under Ruben Amorim, as we assume he's going to be playing the 3-4-3. That's probably the most immediate need for the team, as well as that solid number 9. And then you have the midfield players departing, so we're going to need to refresh the midfield as well. So I think right now, looking at the squad, our assumed players that are going to drop: striker, CDM, and left wing back, I think, right away. Because Mazraoui can do the right wing back. Delot can do the right wing back. You have options there. TBD on Malacia. Haven't seen a lot of them. But so who is the manager thinking about signing? Are we being linked to anyone? Well, right off the bat, the manager's going to go back to the well. Sporting. We paid him money for the manager. We're probably going to pay them money for players. We went the same route with Ten Hag. It didn't really work out, I would say, going to Ajax and acquiring or just going to the Dutch league to acquire players. But there are some gems in the Sporting team. Obviously, Gorky's being the striker, who's just out of this world, Swedish striker. And then the Portuguese Pedro Gonçalves, who basically is like a hitter. I'm going to share the football ref stats. He's more of attacking midfielder. You can see here non-penalty XG 96th percentile for attacking mids and wingers. Shots 96th percentile, assists 99th percentile. So this season absolutely barn burner, but this is more on the attacking side. I still think we need somebody in the central midfield. That could be an issue. What do you make of this profile of midfielder?
Looks like another former Sporting midfielder that we signed that, elite, one of the best chance creators, creative players in the world, in Bruno Fernandes. So I think Bruno Fernandes will continue to feature. Goncalves looks a player, obviously. Look at those fucking stats. But I think you nailed it in terms of where we need. The needs at the end of the day are consistent, whether or not we're playing a 4-3-3 or a 3-2, 3-5-3 or whatever. We need strikers because we need a goal. We need goals. We were dying up front. We needed like a killer number 9. So I think regardless of how we line up, we need someone who can score goals, whether that's Guarquis, The Swede, I don't know, man. He's killing it in the Swedish league. He looks lights out. He looked lights out against City, but he also played in England, didn't do very well. We need wingbacks. I don't know where he looks. Does he look domestically? Does he look abroad?
All right, let's talk about Gorky's. We got his football ref up here. This is it's a Portuguese league. Non-penalty XG, 99th percentile. Like, shot creating actions, 99th percentile. I mean, this guy is just like, talk about a top-rated talent in Europe. You could probably get him for $70 million. You're not getting much else. We still have the financial fair play issues at United, but we do need a goal scorer. The problem with the new manager, though, is signing that big money guy and living and dying by him. Every manager's done it, like Ole, Maguire, Eric Ten Hag, Antony. It's like, I almost don't want this to be like the strategy coming out of the gate. But we do need a number 9. So I just hate the going back to the well from a lower league. I want EPL proven. I prefer to go to cheap EPL proven versus like a Delap from Ipswich, who's frisky, something like that that's cheaper than going for like everybody's in on Gorky's. He's the hype man right now. How do you feel about this type of signing?
No, I think we should not see us dip the well, because if we're getting what we were told we're going to get, which is a sporting operation in terms of a front office that's distinct from the manager, in terms of the manager doesn't pick the players, unless there is a sporting player that fits exactly the profile of what we're looking for from a front office in terms of like sport continuity, resale value, right? Like good value. I don't think it's Gorky's. Like you said, I think you want EPL proven. You want whoever Dan Ashworth and Wilcox pick as the best players to fit in. I've been hearing about this winger out of Sporting actually that really gets like more of the profile, which is like he's like 17, like a phenom, instead of going for like a Swedish guy who's playing lights out. I agree, but he's 26. You're gonna have to pay top dollar, and can he repeat this at United? I have doubts, even if he tore up City. So,
well, we need to fix the team and the system before we get the guy. And could Hoyland,
I'd like to see what he can do under this new manager.
At it.
Right.
These types of signings are more my flavor, right? You got Brainwaith here and Kirkes at Bournemouth. I like looking at the league on the lower end side and the all-star standout players. Milos Kirkes, basically left back. He could fill that hole, play left wing back. He's an engine. He's a dog. That's what we need. And then obviously, like, we're going to be playing the back 3. You'd like to see what he could do with what we got right now, but we've been linked with Branthwaite for a while, and he does feature well in the back 3, and he is going to be a player that is going to be on the block. Like, Everton need to sell him. So I like to go more in this direction because they know the league, they know the pace. I feel like when you sign players from a lower league and then they have to step up to the EPL on big ticket money, it's a lot of risk.
No, and I'm going to contradict myself, or at least I think I'm changing my approach. It used to be, I 100% agree with you. You go EPL proven. Then we started getting priced out with the Maguires, paying $80 million for Maguire. Like, oh, we got to look elsewhere. But then we started overpaying for players in other leagues. At this point, like the league, this is kind of a unique league. Like there is no other league that's like the Premier League in terms of the level of physicality, the level of pace from team 1 to 20. It's like incredible. There's nothing else like this. So I have to agree. At this point, you're better off buying a $50 million player from Bournemouth than a $50 million player from Ajax or Sporting.
Don't say Ajax.
Sir, I like Onana. I like Martinez is the only player, by the way, who signed from Ajax, and he's a very solid center back if he stays fit.
Antony was from Ajax as well.
Yes, unfortunately, he doesn't count.
So,
he doesn't
he's
count.
the only
Okay,
player.
Two. There are two. There were two.
What?
There were two. I know. Okay, Onana played under the manager, but he was from Italy.
The $600 million.
Mazraoui played under the manager, but he was at Germany.
Sir, I wouldn't die on the $600 million that Eric Ten Hag spent. I just wouldn't die.
I'm not dying on it, but there
there
are good players. You act like they're all rubbish. They're not all rubbish.
I would say best case scenario, Martinez could be good. I think Martinez is a 50-50 with the new manager in the back 3.
He'll do great.
And his injury record, right? So I mean and then Onana, I think Onana's solid. I think so. I think Onana's solid. I don't think he's he's not going to be a Neuer level,
greatest ever. Okay. No, he will not be the greatest ever.
You get what I mean? But
Neuer level.
There's world class, and then there's would you take Allison at
with the best goal in the league?
No, or the city keeper as well. I mean, like, there's just like what level is he at, right? So I think it's interesting. I'm sure we can agree that the next 600 million we got to spend it better than we did the last 600
I'm not
million.
disagreeing with there, bro.
So
77 million on Casemiro, 85 on Anthony. It's like those are gonna kill you, bro. Those
right,
kill
so
you. Those
we're
kill you.
early in the Ineos era, and like let's hope we start spending that cash a little better. And also selling some players for a gain. Like that's what United needs to get into. We have the guys to do it. We're going to keep you posted on all things transfer news. We know it's early, but just some initial rumors about what Amorim could do with the team. We're excited for Ruben's Red Army. Please comment below, like, subscribe, help the algorithm on YouTube, and we'll be back with another America Red Devils video.